I said, sure. So I played a role. I cast the woman who played my wife and
What?
the other people in the program. That was received well, and that led to the series, which was called Family Portraits, that was really the precursor to Adventures in Odyssey.
I think the vision when we first started was to create credible entertainment, not what was then
Oh,
sort of
McCusker.
Christianese entertainment that could be embarrassing. I mean, I don't think any of us were thinking, wow, 30 years later we'll be talking about it. But we knew that whatever we were going to do needed to be top quality.
I have been wanting to convey good Christian principles, solid Christian principles in a dramatic format for a long time. I wanted to be able to say, okay, you know what, Christians can write good material.
No, the bad guy.
We can write stuff that's on par with anything out there in Hollywood, and we can express our values in really, really good ways.
The fun part for me was to come in and really innovate what was sort of a lost art. We were in the 80s, it was the late 80s, and so much had happened in terms of entertainment expectations for people. The bar is much higher. You know, Star Wars has come out, and now everybody expects all these wonderful, you know, effects and things. And so, from my perspective, I just thought, well, let's treat this more like movie. Let's not think of it in terms of an old-time radio. Let's think of how we can create sound design to immerse you in the experience. And so we began to explore ideas, and it was so much fun to come to work in those early days. I told my wife, I get to go to work today. I get to go play in the sandbox today, you know?
Hal Smith is a guy that I dearly, dearly loved. He was in many ways a father figure for me. And perhaps I romanticized that a bit because Hal had his own rough edges and something. There was just something about it. Part of it was, I'm sure, was influenced by the fact that because he was an Andy Griffith show and a character that I always thought was fun and funny, and to be able to work with him and get to know him, I just fell in love with him.
It was lots of fun. He always had a story to tell. He always moved his cheeks wiggle. I think he and I probably created the foundation for Odyssey. That might sound very puffy to say that, but I think, you know, our relationship was really key in the beginning of the show.
When Hal Smith died, I thought that Odyssey was done. So I really thought, well, maybe we should just close things down. And I think we had some serious discussions about, let's do something else. It's had a nice 5-year run. That's good. That's a lot. We can replay those over and over again. Let's see what we can do. Something else that we can do. But God had different plans.
When people began to write about what the show meant to them and how it impacted them, that was surprising. I don't think we could have anticipated that a show would have as much of an impact as Odyssey ultimately has had.
I can't emphasize enough the power of the Holy Spirit on these shows. If it was just up to us as writers, directors, sound designers, the show would have been one and done probably. But the truth of the matter is that for some reason, God has chosen to be present in the midst of it.
It's an emotional thing for me to think what God has done. I could never have dreamed that God would use us in such a way, and I think I can speak for everybody on that one. We all were surprised.
To be able to sort of hang up my hat at some point and say, my career was basically built around this thing to me, it's a real privilege. I am a blessed man because I've met so many wonderful people, creating friendships that I will never forget.
Naming the series Odyssey is a journey. It's an adventure. It's an ongoing, exciting voyage that we're all on, and I think that that's what's going to continue on in the future.
Today's lesson is on the history of the Ward Fam Chalk Sod. When we opened in Colorado Springs, Week's End, we tried many recipes, all of which were disgusting. It took us a while to find a simply divine recipe, which if you continue watching, you too can make it home. Oh, I love Week's End. Here we are.
Yeah, hey, looks like we got some special guests to help us out.
Great. Who are you?
Kendrick,
And you?
Justin,
All right.
And who's this lovely lady right here?
she's a mom. Oh, I don't do it.
Gather ingredients.
Chocolate ice cream, check. Soda water, check. Some chocolate syrup, some whipped cream, check. A blender, check. And some cups, check.
And another important ingredient.
Hey, Mom, can we use the blender?
Sure.
Make sure you have completed step 2.
Hey, Mom, can we use the blender?
Sure.
Add ice cream to blender. Add soda water. Add chocolate syrup. Mix until smooth.
And now's a good time to tell you what the name of our newest album is.
Pour into cups.
Next step. All right.
Top with whipped cream.
Probably like a frosty.
Add chocolate drizzle. Enjoy!
Mmm. Yeah, soda water. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Family Fun Panel. You can visit us online at WithThem Blogs. I'm Christopher Deal. Have you ever wondered how we create the sounds for Adventures in Odyssey? Well, today you get to see a small glimpse in how we created the banana fight scene in An Agreeable Nanny. So I remember, when I
that?
first read the script for the Agreeable Nanny show, I was reading through and I noticed that there was a scene with a banana fight. I thought, a banana fight? What kind of sound do bananas make? And then I continued reading and I noticed again that there was a dog video scene, a big dog, creating all sorts of chaos and knocking things over, a ladder, a fire alarm went off, and I thought, oh boy, I sure pity the poor sap that has to work on this show.
One of the great things about the Foley Room is that we take all the surfaces in your entire neighborhood and cram them into one room like this so we can move from one scene to the next quickly. So for example, we have a driveway sound here with the gravel. And over here we have sand for being at the beach, walking around there. Back here we have some real good squeaky boards for being in a barn or a shed. And for the banana fight scene, we needed to be in a kitchen, so we chose this floor up here, which is the hardwood floor, and this is where the banana fight happened.
But before we go in the Foley Room, we have to make sure the voices are in the right place. Here's what the voice track sounded like before we went to the Foley Room.
Forget about it. Hand me a banana and I'll start peeling. So let me peel the bananas. I like that part. No, you squeeze too hard and make a mess. Let me do it. No, I want to do it. Give it. No, but I want to do that. Stop it. Oops.
Now that the voice said it was just right, it was time to go in the Foley Room and record this scene. I needed a little help from somebody that was very excited about working on this show. Oh, Jonathan!
What fun. A mess.
Needless to say, my wife made me throw that shirt away when I got home. When we're in the Foley Room, we wear headphones like this, and the reason we wear these is so that we can hear the voices of the actors, and then we can respond and provide the sound effects that the characters would do if they were in the scene.
I can't believe you guys did that. Okay, fine, if that's how you want it. No, Ew. Now it's your turn. Come again. What are you doing?
When I'm helping out in the Foley room, I'm usually watching the computer screen and making sure that the tracks get labeled right and being an extra set of ears to listen to things. In this case, I had to watch my back too because Banana was flying everywhere and I couldn't make any noise because I didn't want to ruin the take.
I hope you enjoyed your visit to the Foley room. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about Foley. Let's just hope next time the writers don't write in a pie fight.
End the show.
Did they have a pie plate? Oh.
Just about every one of my sessions is fun or funny because we are such a fun group here.
Forgot about
But,
her.
people have been known to put funny words, replacing some with others because they know I can't pronounce certain words. Sometimes there's a word that I can't pronounce, just right. They write them just so that I'll sit there and look at it. So that's always funny when they put, stick a word in there. But I think aside from fun and funny, which is all the time, there was one show that was more sad than anything else. And I don't want to, go too much into it, but I remember there was this one part of my life that I was just really struggling a little bit. It was like a really, tough time, and I think you guys all know what that's like. And as I was reading the show, and I was reading the rap, at the very end, we gave like a Bible verse. And as I was reading the Bible verse, it was perfect for what I was going through. I mean, I was, it was like a really tough time, and it's like I read that Bible verse, and it just hit me like, oh my goodness, that was the verse for me. It was like God, in the middle of the show, I was reading this Bible verse to tell you guys how to think, through your problems, and bam, just like that, that verse hit me, and I could just feel like, the tears. It's like I'm thinking, I'm recording the show, and I'm trying not to cry because it was so impacting. And it's like, I remember one of the directors going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I thought, yeah, I'm okay. I just had a moment there. So a real living, breathing moment when God's words affected me right on, recording.
Oh.
Hi, Odyssey podcast fans. This is April Burkesel with Paul Breeder. We work with the package design for Adventures on Odyssey, and we're here with Gary Locke today. And he is going to draw a special character just for you guys for winning this summer. So say hi, Gary.
Hi, I'm Chris.
No, you're Gary.
Gary's in Rogersville, Missouri, while we're here in Colorado Springs. And what are you going to draw for us today?
Today it's time to draw Eugene. For somebody that's won the special I Like Eugene award from Focus on the Family, and they get to watch me draw Eugene. How fun is that? Alright. I don't normally talk while I'm drawing. But he's got this thing back there, and it starts with a couple of big old eyeballs. It's backwards. And Eugene is pretty happy that somebody has won the opportunity to see him be drawn. This is why my wife doesn't let me help paint in the house. Because I can't paint from one side of the room across. I am all over the place. But it works for me. Alright.
So what happens after you sketch him? What are your
Then I send it off
stages?
to the mean people in Colorado Springs, and they tell me how bad it was. And I
Okay.
get to do it over.
No, we're not that mean.
So Gary, how do you get the texture in Eugene's hair?
Well, watch very carefully. I just have selected his hair. I'm going to grab the paintbrush and get a base layer of color in there. And a little darker on the bottom. And I can go Command U and darken that up a little bit, take the saturation up. That's about the color I like. And a lot of times I'll take the brush down, go to multiply.
How about his eyes? Have we ever seen those?
So we have glasses, really big old circle glasses. I'm going to select around them. And minus. It's really what makes Eugene Eugene.
How long, hey Gary, how long do you think it takes for you to do a cover illustration for Odyssey?
From the time.
Maybe from sketch to final.
Finish it.
Yeah.
It's usually about a week. Now, from the time I start painting it, though, it's usually 2 days. But that's like 4 days to normal people because I usually work five hours during the daytime and 5 or 6 hours during the night. So it's like I work 10 days a week usually.
Wow. You have 10 days a week there.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Thanks, Gary.